games. It's ScrubGames. Drop a like, drop a sub, go ahead and subscribe to ScrubGames. Drop a like, drop a sub, go ahead and subscribe to ScrubGames.
How's it going, ScrubGamers? Welcome back to another video here at ScrubGames, and today for our first video in 2025 we're going to go over our channel plans for this year, because with New Year's come New Year's resolutions and all that stuff, and just what detail what's going to go on the channel going forward for this year, because yeah, it's had a good New Year's. Hopefully everybody else had a good New Year's and a good Christmas as well, and with the new year trying to sort out some stuff, but I thought it'd be good to detail what's going on the channel, basically. So starting off, first thing, just jump straight into it, not worry about anything, but if you do want to like, comment, subscribe, then feel free to do so, and also remember that notification bell is there for you to get notifications to when my videos do drop, so you can watch them there and then at a time that suits you. So, starting off with our main game. So, the main game we're going to be playing and covering on the channel will be Star Wars, because I've just been having a lot of fun with the game. Is so much fun since I started playing. I started since the beginning, back last year in, I think it was March it started. I think it was Fusion Wars in February. March it started. Dropped down to 2 of the 3 pre-releases that were around for my area, and loved the game. I think I ended up winning my first 2 pre-releases as well, which was pretty cool. I think there were quite a few of them going on. The 2 I went to, I did manage to win. One just by I think luck of these pairings and breakers and stuff like that, and the other one, I just won by just basically being undefeated. And it's just been a fantastic game. Like, there's so many decks, like for every set, even from the first set, you've got to have so many decks, so many different combinations, and it's been hella fun. Like, there's so many different ones to try, and even now with set 3, there's some decks I still want to play that I haven't got time to play, and before the next set come out, but I'm trying my best to kind of go through all of them and just have fun, enjoy the game, because we're still in this, technically season 0 of the first competitive scene, but it's still great. Like, I'm not going too hard into it, but it's just a lovely game. It's a great competitive one. It just ticks all the boxes for a good competitive game, and just the gameplay is top notch. So we're going to keep with this game, so hopefully you're excited about that. And we've got loads of things we're going to cover. So we're still going to cover deck profiles, going to read decks that lists I've got, and decks I like, and decks I thought are quite interesting. We're even going to still keep doing the Understand How to Build vids, both the intro ones for when a new set comes out, and also the updated ones where we go look back at older leaders to kind of cover, see where they are now, with like some updates for later sets. So keep doing that. So there will be some more of those coming, and also when the next set drops, I can't remember if it's next month or the month after. I think it might be beginning of March. Then we'll have the next lot of Understanding Our Build fields, but we will still have some updated ones from set 1 leaders and stuff like that. We also have locals gameplay. I'll keep trying to, but keep recording my locals, my local games, and also keep trying to take a different deck each time, like I've been doing. If you haven't seen it, have a look. I keep putting now for when I go locals, a vote up. So if you want to pick one of my 4 decks that I want to kind of play, to choose which one you want me to play, and then basically have gameplay of it, feel free to do so. I have it up, I think about a week in advance. I think I tried to at least. So you can vote and pick one, and I think the current one's up for this Friday. We also have every gameplay vids I'm trying to get, because when I've played, I started off, in the last game I played being Dragon Ball Masters, the main way I played was, I like playing it in person, and also by webcam, but there doesn't seem to be an interest in Star Wars. People don't like to play by webcam, that be able to play in person. They want to play in person, but they can't. It's most likely online play with like TTS, which is Tabletop Simulator, for anybody not sure what that is, and Carabas, which is like a automated way to play, but not an official one, but developed by players for players, which is really cool. But the only problem with that is it's quite buggy still. We're trying to still code everything, and it's done independently and not like official. But it is a great way to play, but it isn't the best way to play against people always, because sometimes it does bug. But people prefer to play on that way, so you don't get. I'm gonna try and get some other gameplay. And when I played online, if I didn't play webcam, it was the untapped for Masters, and when you get people online, sometimes they hide behind a keyword and just get very spiteful behind the chat, if they do lose and stuff. So sometimes it isn't the best way or the most fun way to play or interact with people. But I'm going to try and get some other gameplay vids as well to try and show off some decks, because I can't test everything. And maybe some ideas I can't really try out, whether after cards or haven't got time, but I want to try and kind of showcase those in different vids, so we'll do that. We also keep discussion vids, also do tournament recaps. With tournament recaps, there's loads of other channels that are doing recaps of other tournaments that we've got. You can like see from the competitive hub and stuff, when events are going on, what the results are, and list of stuff. So it's pointless me covering it when you've got loads of other channels also doing the same thing. So I'll just mainly, when it comes to tournament recaps, it'll be going over my experience from the tournaments. So you can kind of see from my view what my deck has played, rather than just basically see like a general vid of like these are this, blah blah. Because sometimes unless you get players on, you might not understand why people put certain cards in. So it's unless you don't know, it's not really worth covering and just giving a kind of assumption. And then we'll try to do many more things. Got other things I want to try and do, but it depends on the time. But we'll try and get more things than that. But Star Wars is going to be a main game, and that's what we're going to cover. And also, I'm going to have a side game. So I do like to have two games. One, a main game, my main competitive game that I enjoy playing, but a side game. So if ever the main game gets a bit repetitive, or I get a bit bored of it, or I get fed up with it, I can go play my side game like a nice casual fun game, just to take my mind off it, to get away from it a little bit. So that way I don't get bored and stop playing the main game, but I then take a break so I come back a bit more refreshed into it. And the side game I want to try and get into is back into Masters, because I love Masters. I love Dragon Ball. It's my probably my absolute favorite IP. But I did stop playing it, and I think the last tournament I played in was not the last finals that happened, but the finals before that. Went into that, made top 8, had a lovely weekend. It was a great event and a great time. But then I stopped playing after that, and that was mainly because I like to play in person with games. I like to play with my cards. As you've seen, I fidget a lot. I like to play with my cards, play in person, because it's a nice interaction, social kind of aspect. But with the Masters, there was one early one, which wasn't even for the new that year's season. It was the year before's season. So it was a 2023 season event. I was in person. I couldn't make. And after that, we had no in-person events in the UK at all for Masters up until finals, which wasn't in the UK. It's outside I think in the Netherlands. So we had no in-person events, not even at our like usual one where we normally have it at the UK Games Expo. There's no Masters event there. There was a Fusion World instead. So there's no in-person events to go to. And with no in-person events to like attend or play, and my locals basically being barely existent, with like up to I think maximum 3 players that still play and go semi-regularly. There's no point in getting anything from new sets to play when there's no in-person events to practice for or go to. I didn't really like playing webcam because the stigma of like how we've had cheaters so many cheaters over the years in webcam, and now they didn't really get punished. It kind of deterred that a little bit, and no really locals to like test regularly. I just stopped playing and just stuck to Star Wars and played Fusion World as well, because that at least had people playing in person, at least regularly, and also a way to play online that wasn't through like Untap or with people who get a bit funny when they're losing or don't like something. So I'm going to try and get back into it because I do like it, and it is got a little bit better. Well, it has got a little bit better, sorry. Grab it there. But because it kind of has got better legacy support. So I saw previously there was some King Cold support, which I love because I love that deck. And they're looking like they're doing a bit more of a push to give some new legacy support with the new sets coming out this year. It's kind of enticed me a little bit because like the art of the box, showing like some of the characters and potential leads of it, and it sounds really interesting from it as well. So I might try and get back into it with the next set, but we'll see how it goes. And I was also trying to do content for a side game as well, but more casually, because we're trying to do some deck profiles, gameplay, discussion, tournament recaps. And tournament recaps, I might not go over all the tournament, like any tournament reports from anywhere. I might just stick to the ones in the EU because that's where I reside. Or maybe just do my own tournaments, because there's always other channels that like to cover recaps of like how things are done and get lists quickly. The reason mainly I did mine like ages ago was because I was able to get access to the list early. It's best to just go over it from like a player's point to show like what the lists were and kind of give a bit of description from a player instead of just someone outside the game. But I'll try and get some of that done. It might not be as regularly, it might be semi-regularly, but I'll try and get some mass content in as well. And that brings us to Fusion World, because I did play Fusion World, did have videos on my channel. I haven't done anything for that in a while. That's because the game is just bland. Like it is, it's just a which is a diet Masters basically. It has the same kind of mechanics, just it doesn't have counters, and it's very bland. Like the main thing is it doesn't have counters like Masters does, and then the stats on cards and combos and stuff are a little bit different. And it's just very bland gameplay. And then, even then, like with the second set, they already brought out a Tier 0 format, which was not enjoyable, which means that after playing a really fun set 1 format, had a horrible set 2 format that we didn't have for long and was just horrible playing, and then the online way play, being the digital client, started off good, but then just this card economy is just horrible to try and basically get into it, and with just how they've handled Fusion World and just like how they like put off a lot of people who played Masters from playing it because of the whole digital client fiasco. There isn't really much of a scene in the UK, and especially locally. It was just me and one other person, and where I got fed up with just being us playing one game, going down playing one game, grabbing our packs, and then going home. I just couldn't bother with that, so I just dropped it entirely. But I still got a deck of stuff, so I'll keep an eye on Fusion World to see if it does get better. But we're just not going to bother with it at the moment because it's just a very bland, boring, basic game, and even then for a casual game, it's just not that enjoyable, especially when there's nowhere to play really, or nowhere good to play. But also, there are some other games I do want to try out and maybe have that as it if Masters doesn't work out, getting back into for a casual game like trying everyone's, because I've used to play Final Fantasy and Yu-Gi-Oh years and years ago. Like I played Yu-Gi-Oh for I think almost a decade, and then dropped it to play Final Fantasy because I got a bit bored when it came to having pendulums, and I know there's links now, and that just it's confusing. But I dropped that ages ago because I got just really bored of it. The mechanics just felt horrible, and a lot of people that I used to play with, I enjoyed playing with, and went there for the social aspect to hang out with them and play, kind of started dropping, so I dropped as well. And I switched to Final Fantasy because I love Final Fantasy. Well, I love 7 anyway, and that was a really good card game, an absolutely amazing card game. But I dropped that because while it is a really good game to play and enjoyable, there was 2 reasons. The first one being there's an ice deck that was really annoying to play and very horrible, and it started being played more locals. I just couldn't be bothered with that, and also the prize support for it being in my competitive game was just like figurines and stuff like that, which unless you're interested in it, it's alright, but I wasn't interested in that, so I dropped that because it wasn't much good when it came to the competitive aspect and like the stuff you can win and things like that. Because when I'm playing competitive, I'm thinking about the things I can win while playing, enjoying the game, and it just wasn't there for that. So I dropped those, but I'm getting back into it because Final Fantasy is still a fun game. It's got new mechanics as well, which seem really, really cool. So I'm kind of interested in that. It could be, and if I'm playing it as a cheap game, I don't have to worry about the competitive side of it. Just play it for fun and enjoy it as well. Don't have to worry about blinging anything out either. And then with Yu-Gi-Oh, there's some alternative formats like Edison and stuff that I'll be playing. So I won't play playing core Yu-Gi-Oh if I went back to it. I'll be playing the Edison format back to when I used to, because of the format I used to play. So that could be cool, and it's a lot more fun than it is now. Today's Yu-Gi-Oh! Because I've seen games and stuff about the current scene of Yu-Gi-Oh! Modern Yu-Gi-Oh! And it's just horrible. And then 2 other games that are coming out or have been out is Alpha Clash and Cookie Run. I'm kind of interested in because Alpha Clash plays a lot like Dragon Ball. It looks pretty cool. So that's a game that I'm kind of interested in getting back into, getting into. Not back into because I never played it, but back into because it looks cool. Like I said, mechanics like seem very similar to Yu-Gi-Oh. So I kind of not Yu-Gi-Oh to Masters. So I kind of want to check that out a little bit more. I might pick up that one depending on the price of it and just have a full for a casual game. And then there's a Cookie Run one about cookies that I think started off in Korea, but it's coming out. It's going to have an English print of it. And it's going to come out at some point in the near future. And I've played a few games of it. It's quite interesting. Might pick up that, but I'm not sure just yet. But that's just how it's going to go. So to recap, Star Wars is going to be a main game. Going to try and have a side game. Maybe try it out with Masters. Keep an eye on Fusion World. Not play it, but keep an eye on it just in case it gets better in future. And these 4 here are going to be potentially be a side game I'll play casually for fun. If Masters, getting back into Masters as a casual side game doesn't really pan out well. But that's it for today. Thank you for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed the news about the channel, and I'll catch you in a bit with some new videos for 2025. So thank you for watching, and let's catch you in a bit.